Hi, this is Rabbi Tzvi Mandel on a Wednesday afternoon, Parshas Balak. So, we will resume on YouTube our Pirkei Avos class, but I want to speak a little bit about the outside of the great Orach Chaim HaKadosh. The outside is this Thursday, which is tonight, Yudal, 14th of Tammuz. The great Orach Chaim HaKadosh is one of the leading commentaries on Chumash, on the 5 books. Plus he has some phenomenal writings on Halacha and on Gemara. And he was so great that both the Chassidish world and the Sfadish world where he was from respect him very much. When the Chaim HaKadosh passed away from this world, it was a Shabbos afternoon. And the Holy Baal Shem Tov, who was living in Europe, in Mezhebish, in the Ukraine, was washing his hands for the third meal on Shabbos for Shal Shudas. And he told his Chassidim, Kavanei Maravi, the light from the west has just been extinguished. And later on, when they asked him what he meant by that, he explained that there's a certain yichud, a certain secret in the higher worlds that only one tzaddik is allowed to know about it. It's revealed to only one holy Jew. And till now, it was in the hands of the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, and they just revealed it to him, so he knows that the Orach Chaim was nifta. As we all know now, the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh wanted to go to Eretz Yisrael, to the Holy Land, to live there. It was his very deep wish, and he started to go there. And before Pesach, we related the whole story. He realized that from heaven they didn't want to let him go there, so he went back to Europe. But one of the reasons why he wanted to go to the Holy Land was because he wanted to meet with the Orach Chaim HaKadosh. And he felt that when they would meet together, Mashiach will come. Tzaddikim later said, the Holy Tzaddik, I think it was, that said that one had the Nefesh of Mashiach, one had the Ruach of Mashiach. And the two parts of the souls of Mashiach, and therefore Mashiach would have come. The Orach Chaim HaKadosh writes that all his learning that he ever did was only for Hashem's sake, learned only Lishma for Hashem. And for this reason, he was Zaycha, he had the special merit to hear Hashem himself teaching Torah in the higher worlds. Whatever these things mean, they're very holy and they're very special. Orach Chaim HaKadosh did not leave any children, sadly enough. And it's for this reason that many people who don't have children study Orach Chaim a lot, and especially the Orach Chaim on the subjects of Yetzias Mitzrayim, the exodus from Egypt, and this is a segula for a woman to have children that has been barren till now. In our family itself, one of our relatives had that experience, and she gave birth after being married a number of years without children. Amen. Let his merit shield and bring special miracles and all kinds of good things for the Jewish people. May we merit the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. The mind-boggling story is the story that happened during the war, Second World War, when one of Hitler Machshamai's main people, Ramla, was already in Turkey, and he promised that in a week's time, I think he said, all the Nile will be flowing with Jewish blood. Get rid of all the Jews in Israel. And this was already on the headlines of all papers throughout the world. Many people were very happy. Many were very sad. And many religious people that were in Israel at the time gathered on the day of the Hanukkah outside, on the 15th of Tammuz. Did I say the 14th before? I meant 15th. 15th of Tammuz, Tesvav. And they prayed and prayed and prayed. And in the middle of all the saying Tehillim and davening and begging Hashem that it shouldn't happen, the Hosyatna Rebbe, the Shatna Rebbe, always had to say the name of his city back in Galicia, Rabbi Yisrael Friedman, who was one of the greatest of the time, turned around and smiled and said, everybody go home. Like it says, after Yom Kippur, go home and enjoy a meal. Ki Hashem listened to your prayers. And everybody listened, went home, and when his Chassidim asked him, how does he know? He said, because he saw the name of Hashem enlightened on top of the grave of the Orach Chaim. And the Orach Chaim writes many times that when the name of Hashem, the Shem Havaya, is enlightened, you see it in great light. That's a sign of Kulei Rachman, complete mercy, and all dinim fall away, all judgments fall away. Of course, you have to be a man on that level to see these things. In one place in Eretz Yisrael, Rav Stern, the Skolin Rebbe, his son-in-law, writes that he heard from someone who was there that when the Siatna went back home to Tel Aviv, he told 10 of his Chassidim to take one specific Sefer Torah scroll, and go back to the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, go back to the Mount of Olives, and pray and tell the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, remember what you promised us. Great people are great people. For us, we have to be Elochid. What does it mean to be an Elochid? Literally, Eloch means loyal. It's a Yiddish word. It means being loyal to everything that it says in the Shulchan Aruch, in the Jewish law book. For simple people like us, it's very easy to study the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We've done this many years with many groups of people, especially people coming into Yiddishkeit. The language is an easy language to learn, and one can put in 10 minutes or 20 minutes a day. More is even better, and in a very short time learn the whole thing, in a year's time or less, and it gives one a good idea of what it is to be an Elochid. An Elochid, of course, means those are the basics of what it means for every Jew. And then there's every Jew according to his neshama, how he grows or how she grows, or how long it takes for them to accept and to take upon themselves to work and to toil on the things that it says there. Okay, we shall go to the third Mishnah in the 5th chapter of Ethics of Our Ancestors. 10 tests our father Abraham Alav Shalom was tested with, and he passed all of them with flying colors. To let know to who? To let know, says the Taisus Yontif, to the Satan and to the nations of the world who are always wondering, what is this special love between the Jewish people and the Creator of the world? So to let them know how much Avraham Avinu, Abraham, our father, our ancestor, loves Hashem. We're not going to do what the 10 steps were. Also, as the Tiferes Yisrael says, Hashem tested Avraham Avinu to let everyone know how great his love was for his God, and it wasn't just for nothing that Hashem chose him out of his whole generation. That was for that generation. In the davening and the prayers we say in Shachris, in the morning prayers, that Ata Hu Hashem Lekim Asher B'chata B'Avram Sam Tishmei Avram Tzasas Levavei Lem Lefanecha, for generations and for eternity. Hashem chose Avram because he knew how great his heart was, Levavei, loyal to Hashem and believing in Hashem. Rachmana Libabai, the Talmud says, Hashem wants the heart of the Jew. And that's definitely true on every level possible. However, to prove what is in our heart are the commandments in the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch, as we said before. That's how we prove God. We could maybe become very creative and decide how to show Hashem in another way, in our own way of thinking, and many have done that and failed, because the real way to do it is to use the Torah way, which is Hashem's will, and which is given over from generation to generation by the great people of those generations who are that close to Hashem, that they know what Hashem's will is, going all the way back to Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 7 shepherds, to the prophets, to the Tanam and the sages of the Talmud and the commentaries and the students of the Holy Baal Shem Tov and all the other tzaddikim of all generations until this very day. At the time that a person is tested with a test, says the Baal Shem Tov, and this is quoted by the Moreh Naim in Parshas Nasai, the person's knowledge and connection to Hashem that he usually has, the level that he usually has, is taken away. So when it says, V'Elokim Nisis Avram, Hashem tested Avram, Elokim, the name of Hashem, Elokim, is the Moichem Dekatnis. Person, when he isn't in his best situation, that is the testing that Hashem does to Avraham Avinu. Says Baal Shem HaKadosh. We'll stop here. Have a great day.